let me let me know when we're back. That what a stupid. Oh my god, what a shit show. Reuse settings. Go, just go. Good lord, what a joke. Well, that's embarrassing. Okay, so is that working? Are we back? Or let me know what's going on here, guys. What a disaster that just was, though. Change dashboard. Go to the right one. Okay. Are we good? Okay, so it looks like I'm seeing... Oh, this is great. Yeah, no, it wasn't you guys. That was all me. So if you guys are reloaded and back in, then great. Because now it seems like I kind of have two different chats on the go, which is a damn disaster. All right, let me get this stuff set back up again. So we were here. And we were here. And we were also... where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There. Staff YouTuber. All right. So give me some sort of indication in chat that we're back, because now I've got two going and it's not good. Let's see if I can see which one I'm live on. Oh, good. Now there's two of them. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Looks good. We're good. All right. I'll stop worrying about it. All right. So what I was showing you before I had that little conniption fit there was... Oh, I got to get loaded back into Rust too. Damn it. Let me load into Rust before I get into all that. That was really fun. I'm not really sure what happened. Well, I do know what happened there. So I watched a video the other day about a guy that was complaining about OBS crashing all the time. And I was like, that never happens. And then, of course, what happens? And then I was recording later that day, and it started happening all the time. Luckily, I was just recording. It wasn't live, so it was no big deal. But yeah, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, but I'm gonna tell this story. Anyways, I was watching this video about this guy complaining about OBS and how they need to get back to the basics and stop worrying about all of the other pretty little add-ons and stuff like that they're doing. And I kind of agreed with them, but now here we are, and this kind of stuff is happening more and more. So they need to strip it back down to the bare bones that it was before, and just go with that. Because it worked really well, and then they started trying to get all pretty and fancy and now it's breaking all the time. But anyways, all is good. Such is technology, right? No, I'm talking about OBS, Sailor. OBS is it stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's basically what everyone uses to do live streams, recordings, all this other stuff. Basically anything that you see on YouTube was done on OBS or something like that. Yeah, no, that's all good. Just waiting to finish loading into Rust here. So I can show you what I wanted to show you guys, because it's cool. Oh, I didn't consider checking out the NVIDIA software. Yeah, you're absolutely right, though. I should check into that. And yes, I do run NVIDIA. I'll check into that. Obviously not right now, but yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, it's weird. This chat is like being very selective on what it's showing me, but this one is showing me what you guys are saying. No Real Rust, how's it going? I don't think I've seen you in quite some time. So we've got the guys over at Fizz Gun, right? And they came to us with the live map a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's got to be just about 2 months ago. And this live map was an absolute game changer when it comes to monitoring, and I mean like literally monitoring so that you can see what's happening on your server. It took the game to a whole new level. And you can do all of this directly from your browser, which is incredible. And you can like watch in real time as players are moving around and doing different things and whatever, and you can interact with play. Anyways, you guys get the point. I've gone over all this before. But then they took it one step further and they watched my video on Grafana and they said, hey, why don't we do the same thing right in our dashboard? So it seems to me like every couple of days or definitely every week that passes, they're stepping their game up. And the guys over at Fizz Gun, man, they know what's up. I'm gonna open this in a new panel so you can see full screen. And this is all, so this is Grafana's information. And if you've been with me for any length of time, you've seen all of this before. But this is all directly within their dashboard. You don't have to do any setups. You don't have to create a server. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all just boom, right there. How perfect is this? So when you're tracking down, trying to find out what a plugin is doing or what's creating lag on your server or a player that's doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, this information is all right, built right within their dashboard. I don't know. I thought it was badass. What do you guys think? Hey, Anafin, great question. I like the deep sea. I like the boat building. I like having to travel out there. I like the activities that are out there. Excuse me, I'm going to have to do that a couple of times because, like I said before, I'm super sick. I like the deep sea. The whole naval update, so far, I like a lot of it. I would say most of it. The timed aspect of the deep sea area, I don't love that, but you can turn that off where it doesn't reset every couple of hours. So that takes that part out if you so chose on your server. I did happen to get caught out in the deep sea during a reset, and man, you don't want to do that because you lose everything, including the boat that you went out there on, which I didn't know. I guess if I'd have thought about it, I would have realized that I mean, of course that's going to happen. What else is going to happen? It's not like it's going to sail you back into the mainland area. Of course you're going to lose it. So I did. I lost my boat. But yeah, so I like it. Biggest Rust news in years, they removed the 64K physics entity limit for grid with last update. See, you're smart though, and so you know what that means. And I don't, because I'm not. I did move to Fizz Gun. All of my servers are now currently running on Fizz Gun. Yep. We can recreate the old 2013 map. If you're meaning the Rust Legacy map, I doubt it. Yeah, I use Grafana separately, but now I can close that down and just use the dashboard. Like built right into Fizz Gun. I don't have to have a separate Grafana server set up anymore. Boyce, your videos have saved me many times over the years. Thank you so much for all your knowledge. And that's exactly what it's about, is saving people time and getting that information out there that I was struggling to find back in the day when I first started out. Yeah, you can absolutely see the live map. As soon as I can sort out where I am. And live map, this is the live map. There's only one player on this server, and that's me. But you can see any TCs. You can see, like, this is the TC that I'm at right now. Let me just zoom right in there. So this is me right there. So like you can pull up statistics on the player. You can move the sliders up and down and it happens instantaneously to that player in the game. You can down them, you can resurrect them, you can move their items around in their inventory, and it happens in real time. It's badass. Like they knocked it out of the park with this one. Does help, but I notice you have more info than I have, and that could very well be. I don't know what kind of a setup they built with the Grafana panel. But I do know that you are correct that it is extensive information. It's more than what I have on my separate panel. There's a plugin that lets you run deep sea all the time if you want. Lets you build NPC. Yep. Yep. Noob Cakes, what's going on, man? Fizz Gun is not slots purchased. No, it is. You buy basically memory, is what you're paying for. The removal of that limit helps people making massive bases from reaching that limit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no Grafana setup. Nothing. Yeah, I didn't have to do anything. I just popped up. They sent me a message, obviously, in Discord and said, hey, we're launching this. And I said, cool, I'll check it out. And I go to my panel and I click on server metrics. And it's boom. It's right there. And one of the cool things about Fizz Gun is if you don't have any players in your server, it throttles everything way down. So like if I don't have any players on this server, myself in this specific situation, if I left this server, all of this stuff turns off. And it's not using resources. I mean, not that it matters for you as the end user, but you're saving resources. If your server is empty, it automatically turns a lot of things off. It turns your FPS down, everything. The CPU, like, are you talking about the usage from the Grafana panel? Because it's nil. And yes, Noob Cakes can confirm the real time. I was messing, he was on a server and I was recording a video and I was messing with them. They didn't know that I was recording a video at the time, but yeah, it was happening in real time for them. It has been tested on high pop, and what's the cost? The cost is free. If you have a Fizz Gun service, it's free. It comes with it. There's no extra charges involved at all. It's beautiful. The live map and the Grafana panel, free. From a costing perspective, yes, it is like IceHost. I will be doing a video on how to set up a Fizz Gun server right from scratch. Because I was in such a panic to get everything done for my own personal servers, I didn't have time to do that. But yeah, I absolutely will. Am I for hire? I don't charge people. I do help a lot of people though. You can hit me up in Discord. Can you add this Fizz Gun to your own server? Do you need to have one of them servers? So yeah, so these, everything that I've talked about today, the live map as well as the Grafana built into the dashboard is only provided by Fizz Gun. However, you can have Grafana panel on your own, even if you're not with Fizz Gun. I have a video on that. You can check my library for it. You can just search for Grafana. Yeah, and then so the next thing that I wanted to, actually I'm going to throw this in here right now. So the live map is only available through Fizz Gun. You can't get that standalone. The developers behind Fizz Gun created that themselves. The Grafana panel is obviously done by somebody else, but the team at Fizz Gun have melded it into their dashboard. The live map, you have to get a Fizz Gun server for that. Had to pop my eardrums. So I'm going to do this. I didn't tell him that I was going to do this, but it's about time, and he's got his website up and running. So I'm going to show this off. So here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if anybody remembers Lone from Lone.design, he's the Lone in Lone Design, or used to be. He is creating these things. And if you go to his YouTube channel or whatever, you'll see that he's set up his studio in a way that it looks like a Rust base, but he's doing it with real items that he's created. And I hope he doesn't get pissed off at me for doing this, but like, I just think this stuff is so cool, and you guys should go check it out. They're fun little projects. You're going to love putting them together. And your end result is stuff like this. Like, who wouldn't want a mini or a timed locked crate or whatever, shotgun traps. He should have on here, I don't see it on here, so it must not be ready to go yet. But and this isn't promotional. This isn't, he didn't ask me to do this. I told him that I couldn't. I've been champing at the bit to tell everybody about this, but go check it out. The website is propbuilds.com. Run 121 plugins. That's rookie numbers, man. I'm at like 168, I think, right now. On one of my servers. Yelnats moves everything over to Fizz Gun. Highly recommend. Hopefully you use my promo code for that. Oh yeah, anything with NPCs, yeah, for sure. Those are hard on CPUs for sure. Killing me, Smalls. Yep. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. They're working on some really cool things over there. Their anti-cheat program or add-on, I should say, is coming too, and it's gonna be awesome. If it's anything like what they've added so far, like, it's just gonna be a no-brainer. I have very, very little information about that. Yeah, they are. They're super easy to set up. The only part that is like complicated, and it's not really complicated. The only thing that is maybe different from what people are used to is the config editor and the server options. They kind of feel like they're in the same category. I just want to make sure I didn't just blast my Archon password somewhere or something. No, I don't think I did. The only complication that people are going to run into is having the config editor as well as the server options as separate entities on your panel. I'm used to them being all in one place. And it's important to note that so your server options are all of the things that are going to take place as the server is booting up, whereas your config options are going to take place after the server is running. So you could, in theory, end up with something changing if you have one setting set up in your server options and then the config kicks in after the server is booted. You could end up with things changing there. I noticed it during a wipe cycle where I didn't put my new map information into server config, but I did put it into server options. So what ended up happening is it booted one, when I thought it was booting the new map, it actually booted last month's map. And I was like, I couldn't figure out why. And it's because I didn't put it into the server config options as well. The config editor too. Anyways, I was going to pop that open, but I think that will. Here, let me just do this real quick. Okay, so I can show you that. Okay, so I can't show you that screen because it shows my Archon password. Or I could just change it. So this is what the config editor looks like. So you can go through and you can change all of these things. Most of it is toggles. Some of it is going to be actual settings like upkeep period, you know, stuff like that. And you can change all of this stuff. So everything in here takes effect after the server is already booted up. And we got a super chat from Rooster. Thank you so much. Your videos help out a lot. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I've seen my servers kick players for cheating, even broadcast a chat message. Yes, absolutely. Gallium just released, yes, and I'm glad that they finally have, and I need to connect with them and figure out how we're going to present that to the people. It's important that that information gets out there, especially from the service aspect of it. But we need to do it in the right way so that we're not helping the bad guys know how it's working, if you know what I'm saying. It's too bad that they're only in London in the EU region. What would cause me too high pings? So their infrastructure is limited, that's for sure. But I mean, the better I am at my job about getting them out there, the more capability they're going to have to move into different regions. And I can only imagine that that's on their roadmap. Ziggy, you have a problem setting up plugins. Well, that's what I'm here for. So, yeah, which plugins are you having a problem with? You can convert this into a web app and port into a pterodactyl add-on just like Fizz Guns. I'm sure you can. Yep. I'm absolutely sure you can. Will we see higher quality streams in 2026? This is only 720. It better not be 720. If it is, it's because of that mess that I had going on a couple of weeks ago. Now that I have Starlink, I should be able to broadcast in 1440, in theory. My invisible water bottle. That's hilarious. Do you know any plugins that auto message in global chat, like a link of your Discord? Do you know how to do that? Yes, absolutely. You can go to here. I will pull it up for you right now. It is called Advert Messages, and it's free. and it's available from umod.org. There are paid versions of it, of course, but advert messages is one that I actually use on my own servers. Let me just get rid of this. I got to sign in to get dark mode. There we go. Advert messages. I'll put a link to it in chat for you even. How's that? Super easy. You can control which messages it sends out and in what interval it sends them out in. Works great. Does having carbon and oxide in the plugins conflict with each other? Well, you can't run carbon and oxide at the same time. You can have oxide plugins in the oxide plugins folder, but you're running carbon. That's fine, but you can't actually be running both modding platforms at the same time. Starlink is working great. The interesting part about Starlink, and I should have known this, I should have assumed it, is everything works on Wi-Fi. Right out of the box, everything works on Wi-Fi. So like this right now, what we're running on right now is Wi-Fi, which I don't feel comfortable with. But there is a way that you can run the Starlink into your network and everything runs just like it normally did. But my speeds are fantastic. Like so understand that I'm coming from about 25 megs down, and if I'm lucky, 8 megs up. So right now I'm at like 250 to 300 megs down and 30 to 40 megs up, which is a huge increase for me, but it's not, it's nothing to write home about. It's not gigabit by any stretch of the imagination, but compared to what I was getting before, this is a win. And this has been going smoothly. So there hasn't been any hitches other than the fact that I forgot to change my settings back from 720, which I will address before I go, because I am going live on Twitch later tonight for a little bit of a Havoc Hero situation. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Okay, Sailor, so I think you'd be hard pressed to find a plugin right now that doesn't work on carbon that was built for Oxide. That used to be the case. I think you'd struggle finding one that doesn't work now. Thank you. A lot of your videos helped me, especially the other night. I used your video about the menu. You get the tabs where you load into a server. It was a great tutorial. I've done a couple of those. So there's Welcome Controller by Amino. There is Info Panel, which is free and available from UMod, which I've done a couple of full and extensive videos on because people wanted to do some really cool things there. But anyways, I'm glad that those videos were able to help. That's what it's all about. This is why I do what I do, is to help anybody and everybody. And like there's people that are just starting out with running Rust servers that are using a lot of my videos. There are people that have been running servers for 10 years that still refer back to my videos. Even I refer back to my old videos. Yeah, like that's what it's all about. Yeah, whoever told me to get Starlink is awesome. And I really should have used that person's promo code, and I forgot to, which is really silly. But yeah, so I kind of screwed you and me out of that deal. But anyways. Is there any mods or a mod you know of that is free that lets you upgrade your whole base from the TC? Not from the TC, no. There are premium plugins that do that from the TC, but building grades as well as B grade, and yes, they are two separate plugins. So let me show you. So we've got we've got building grades by Viz Entities and B grade by Ryan. So we've got building grades, which gives you the /up command or /down command, and that will take the resources directly from your inventory. Or we've got B grade by Ryan, which allows you to build directly to a specified level. So if we did, like, let's say we did B grade 2 in chat and we had the permissions for it, then we would build directly to stone, of course, providing that we have the wood and we have the stone in our inventory available to be used to build that wall. So building grades will do an entire base with as much material that you can supply from your own inventory. B grade will build in whatever grade you want it to be at as you're building your base. And we got another super chat from Mr. PC Scrapper, not Scraper, which is Not So Mama, for those that don't know. Starlink saves the day, absolutely. And thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, /info. Yep. So on that note, welcome controller uses the same command as info panel. So you still get /info with welcome controller as well. You can change that to whatever you want. Anyway, getting into the weeds here. B grade is free. Yep. Commands up 1 through 4 and down 1 through 4. Yep, exactly. I use both. I have both B grade as well as building grades on my main server. But me personally, I only ever use B grades or building grades. So I only ever use the up command or the down command. I very rarely build to a specific level. Boom, Ziggy with another $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Missed your opportunity to have a little chat highlighted there for you. Great questions, you guys. This is good. I very rarely get to show off like plug-in answers for you guys. That's great. Keep them coming. Before we get into Havoc Hero, does anybody in chat know what Havoc Hero is? Yeah. Yeah, I use them both too. I don't know why. I do know why. I stopped using B grade a while ago because when you're building at armored level, every time you placed a roof, or actually sometimes a floor foundation would do it too, it would show it at a different level. And I don't know why that, I know why it happened, but I couldn't make it not do it anymore. So I switched to building grades. And that seems to have fixed that. I should go back in and try that. See if they fixed it. I don't think, because here, let me have a look here. It was fixed for an October 3rd update. Yeah, so like, yeah, I don't think that problem has been addressed. Maybe it has. It'd be worth me looking at. Well, thanks, Ziggy. I appreciate you watching all of the videos and getting the information that I'm providing. If it weren't for people such as yourself, I would be out here talking to myself. So let's talk about Havoc Hero. And excuse me. Havoc Hero is what brought me back to Twitch. I haven't been on Twitch in years, so many years, and I went back to Twitch specifically for Havoc Hero. Oh, Sailor, my longest legend level supporter has sent me a super chat for $50. Thank you so much, Sailor. Say hi to your wife because I know she's nearby. Okay, great question. Great question. So the Ludi website right now, how do you change the chances of getting certain things? So based on the conversation around Ludi and Better Loot version 4, is I need to do a more in-depth video on the intricacies or the complications that people are going to run into when they start using version 4 in combination with Ludi. And it's stuff like that that needs to be addressed. Loot groups are your friend. I'll start with that. But you can change the likelihood of getting things. But just get into using loot groups, and then I guess you'll have to wait for an upcoming video so that I can actually explain how everything is working, what to do, what not to do, so that you don't pull all your hair out and look like me. If you build with wood, it would show the roof as a rough edge, but when you upgrade it makes the line smoother. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what I started doing, whereas with B grade, it wasn't lining up properly. See, I knew she'd be there. I knew she was watching. So, for those that are wondering, I will be on Twitch a little bit later tonight. Shortly after I'm done with this, I'll move over to Twitch, which is like, oh, bad. Not allowed to say that. Probably gonna get shadow banned. I'm gonna post my Twitch channel in chat. So go over there and you can follow for free on Twitch. And then you'll get notified as soon as I go live. But you guys need to check out what I'm going to be doing over there, and that is this. This is Havoc Hero, and it's a Twitch extension that allows you as the viewer to interact with me as the player. These are the different things that you can do, and if my memory serves me correctly, there's actually more items than what's on here that you can do, and you'll find it interesting, as I did, that there's more Havoc things that you can unleash on somebody than there are hero things that you can do for a player. So yeah, take that for what it is. So let's see, what are the different things that I've had done to me? So I've been chased by killer chickens. I've had mines spawn around me. I caught that one before it killed me. I didn't have anybody recycle everything. Didn't have anybody do no fuel because I didn't have any vehicles. I definitely got a hunger strike. I definitely got a heli attacked on me. And the MLRS was definitely dropped on me, and it completely foundation wiped my base. Yeah, so I've had quite a few of these things already done on me last month, because this only runs at the end of the month, or the end of the wipe, I should say. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm going to stop this live stream in a little bit. I'm going to get some food and get some more water, and then I'm going to jump on Twitch, and we're going to see what we can do on here. The servers weren't available because they only go online at specific times, and I need to check. I'm going to check right now. I'm going to check right now and see if that server is online, because like I said, it wasn't when I checked earlier. Come on, let's go. We're going to go over to Lil Civ's. Oh, Lil Civ's handshake failed. What's that all about? Oh, what's going on here? Civ. WTF, man. Oh, there we go. 2801, not 015. It should be 017, I think. Could not resolve. Host. Maybe it's 28016. No, so their servers are still not online. They go online at 8 p.m. Central Time, so that's technically not till 6 o'clock my time. So They might not be online yet. Yeah, exactly. BMG Jet. That's exactly right. Every time I say that word, I was going to say, what was I going to say? Oh, the purple site. I'll be on the purple site later. So, PC Scrapper, I am in the middle of setting up a pay now system for another project that I'm working on right now. And so far, I really like it a lot. And I'm really regretting not starting with them sooner. I'm going to finish this project up and then I will probably move everything over to pay now. Because you're right. It's good. It's cheaper. And I think the functionality is actually higher. But yeah, so I will be moving. I will probably be moving everything over to pay now. Irish stew. What makes it Irish? With Jack and Coke. That's not very Irish. Do you know of a better admin panel that doesn't look like old UI? Like better than the admin panel? And so, okay, I can show you what I like to use. And I'll explain why in a minute as soon as I get it pulled up here. Just bear with me while I do that. Curvex, what's up? Come on, let's go. There we go. So let me see if I can get a good graphical representation. This is pretty good. I don't really like that. Let's go. Yeah, this will work. Okay. So this is admin menu, and it's available at Chaos Code. I should have put a link to it. Let me grab this. I'll put a link to it right here. This is a premium plugin, and it's from Chaos Code, obviously. And so it's got a plethora of things that you can do, and you have a lot of control over what each individual group can do. So if you have an admin level group in your server, but you also have a moderator level group in your server, you can differentiate which accesses they have on here, which is really good. Let's just go through. So you can have, okay, I was trying to show you the commands before I showed you that. So you can set up custom commands that you can run directly from the panel. They've got the player administration panel, which I think is what you were asking about. And then obviously the permissions manager, which is huge. And I promote this plugin as well as the free version from CodeFling for managing permissions, because nobody in the year of our Lord 2026, we should not be manually dealing with permissions. We need to be using a GUI. And then we can control different groups and the permissions for those groups. We can create groups, blah, blah, blah. We can work with the convars on our server. So if you want to directly influence how things function in your server, you can do it directly from the admin panel. Damn. Well, that's super fun. No, it's not Starlink. That's OBS. Yep, it's all good. Okay, so like I was saying, that this is a premium, but you can use, let's get this one up here. There is a free version for the permissions aspect, which I will show you that here in just one sec. So there is permissions manager available at CodeFling. and it is free. So all that's going to do for you is allow you to manage your permissions, and that's whether it's individual players or groups. So similar to what you've seen me show you on admin menu. But if you combine that with player administration, you get a lot of the same functionality that you get out of admin menu, but both for free. There's no UI there. I can't really show you that. But so if you want, this is kind of dirty. I'm gonna do it anyways. He's not in here telling me what I can or can't do. So if you want to have this page right here, but for free, then that's player administration available from UMod. I'll give you a link. And I gave you permissions manager. Okay, good. Yep. So there you go. So those are both good free options. You don't get plugin control. You don't get convar control. You don't get an item, a way of giving items to players from those. Yeah. So many plugins, so little time. Exactly. I have, I want to say right around 300 videos. I guess some of them are repeats. But yeah, so like I've only covered 300, and there's like hundreds upon hundreds of plugins that I could be covering. I basically show off the plugins that I have the most experience with so that I can explain to people the problems that they might run into when they're using them. So can't look at players' backpacks. No, that's true. You can't. With admin menu, you can view players' inventories. Actually, no. You know what? That's not true. You can too with player administration. Can't you? Let's see. Do I have that on this server? I do. Yeah. So this is just me, and so you can view, I can view the backpack of this player. Whereas if I had, well, in fact, I could do it right now actually. So online player, inventory, it tells you, so this is the free version. What you're seeing right here is player administration from umod.org. So as you can see, the functionality is very similar. But what I'll do here is I'll go grab inventory viewer real quick and I'll show you how that changes. That's by Whispers, my good bud Whispers. And let's go into the correct server. File manager. I know you guys aren't watching me right now. That's okay. This isn't fun stuff. And let's just drag and drop that in here real quick. Let's go over to here. Downloads. Inventory viewer. Plop that in there. Switch back to console so I can make sure that it loads. O.reload inventory viewer. Now if I go back in game, oops. Now if I go back in game, oops, come on. View inventory. Oh, except I don't have the permission to use it, do I? So it was grayed out there because I didn't have the permission. So if I go into groups, admin group, scroll over to, and this is admin menu that you're seeing on the screen right now. So this is not the free version. Let's do that. And then we're going to go back into player administration, which is the free version. And now I can view my inventory. Just like so. And because I'm sure he won't mind, let's see if we can find Banshee. Let's see what's in Banshee's inventory right now. Oh, it looks like Banshee's dead. Outlaws inventory. No. No player was found. Oh, that could be because I only put the plugin in just now. Here, let me see if I can do it the other way. Offline, Banshee, view backpack. Oh, yeah, there you go. So he's not dead, but he doesn't have anything in his backpack. It's because I didn't have the plugin in yet. So that makes sense. So let's have a look at Outlaw's backpack. That's Outlaw's backpack right there. So yeah. Dum diddle dum. The only thing about admin menu, the hook time over time is big. Not sure if you knew that. I have seen that before, actually. I've never noticed that it's a huge detriment, though. And it's never going to be bad enough that I would say you shouldn't use it. I shouldn't say never. It's not likely that I would ever say that. Yeah, that guy, that's a great question. Why not just switch to Carbon since all that admin stuff is built in? And that's a great point. And for those that are willing to go look at Carbon, you should absolutely look at that option. I have found that there are basically two camps, and there are forever diehard Oxide people, and then there are Carbon people that are willing to switch from Oxide to Carbon. And those that fall in love with Carbon, they'll never go back to Oxide. But there's a subset group of people that started at Oxide, went to Carbon, left me a message saying, "You're crazy if you think this is good," and they went back to Oxide. It happens. Hit that like button. Thank you, Yelnats. I appreciate the reminder. If you guys like what I'm doing here, you got to let me know. You got to hit that like button. If not on your way in, at least on your way out. 14 seconds on Oxide. Yikes, that is a long hook. Wow. Yep. And if it's coming from Grafana, I would trust that information to be true. I would be curious to know what the plugin was doing that made it take 14 seconds, though. cPanel is good. I do like the cPanel. I'm not in either camp. I use both. Literally, I use Carbon on some servers and I use Oxide on other servers. I have to maintain a non-biased opinion, and I do that well because both products are just as good as each other. I'm not going to get into the pissing match about, which one is better, or which one is faster, or which one is lighter. It's all about the convenience for me as the server owner. That's all I care about. Yeah, so Yelnats went from Oxide to Carbon and never looked back. Great. And there's a lot of you out there that fall into that box. Lots of Harmony stuff doesn't work on Carbon, and people not having bloat. And people like not having bloat included. That's fair. Can you elaborate on what the difference is between Carbon and Oxide? The main difference, okay, so the functionality is the same. So they're both a modding platform. So if you want to be able to use plugins on your server, you have to use one of them. The differences between the two is Carbon has a lot of stuff built into it that makes it so that you don't need to have a plugin to do a certain functionality. So a great example of that would be the Vanish plugin. So Vanish, the functionality is built right into the Carbon panel, which makes it so that you no longer have to have a Vanish plugin on your server. There's, what else is there? Gather rates is all controlled directly from Carbon. Can you do stack sizes? Eesh, I should know this off the top of my head. I can't remember if you can do stack sizes or not. Somebody in chat is going to let me know if I'm being a bonehead or not. But there's a lot of functionality that is built right into Carbon that makes it so that you don't have to use a plugin to do that functionality. But a lot of people don't like the UI. They like having to do things manually from their console too. So I I can see why people shy away from it, for sure. Went to carbon and rolled back to oxide. It was simple going from oxide to carbon and carbon back to oxide. Carbon came a long way, and I'm too old to train my brain. Yeah, I fully understand that. But yeah, the transition back and forth, not a big deal. The downside to it is you end up with duplicates. So you're going to have a plugins folder for carbon, and you're going to have a plugins folder for oxide, and everything that's associated with both of those. So once you decide which one you want to go with, and you have all of the information backed up, then you want to get rid of that. You don't want to have duplicates on you. It's just taking up space on your server that you don't need to have. Yeah, okay, great. So I was right. You can do stack sizes directly from carbon. No stacks. Okay, so somebody says yes, but somebody says no. And I can't remember. I thought you could, but now I can't remember. Fun fact, carbon is originally a fork of oxide, just heavily modified, and yes, there is a module for it. Okay, perfect. So that's another one that says that yes, you can do stacks. Oh, a limited amount of items. That's interesting. Oh, item groups. Okay, that makes more sense. And that's what it comes down to, is the GUI. You either love it or you hate it. That's it. The GUI and the function, and like the profiling aspect that's built into Carbon, though, is a great tool, and I love it, and I use it a lot. Being able to profile what a plugin is doing, and being able to refer back to it later. People that use Carbon know what I'm talking about. But think of having like a Grafana panel for one specific thing that you're doing on the server, and it's telling you it's telling you everything that you need to know about what that plugin is doing during its usage. So that aspect is pretty cool. I was sure that the stack size has been there for a long time. I didn't use it. The reason I wasn't able to confidently say is that I didn't use it to control my stack sizes. I still used stack modifier by Con because I like the UI. They did make the profiler a standalone extension for Oxide. So that was Blue. Blue said that a while back that they were going to do that exact thing, because I think he got mad at me for saying, "Oh, this is the one thing that makes Carbon better than Oxide was the profiler." And he did say that they were going to do that. I didn't know that they did. The only thing not too happy about when I do server restart on an Oxide server, it takes about 9 minutes to load up. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not. I'm gonna. So the guys at Fizz Gun have made, I seen the actual comparison of a system not using this concept versus a system that is using this concept, and the one took over 9 minutes to boot up, and the one that is using their new methodology of booting a server took 2 minutes. That's not public, and it's not even out there yet. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Does Carbon plugins work with Oxide? So Carbon doesn't have, I shouldn't say that. How do I word this? People aren't making plugins specifically for Carbon. They're making plugins that are for Oxide that also work with Carbon. But the plugins, or the modules, I should say, that come with Carbon don't work with Oxide, because if you're using Oxide, you don't have access to those modules anyways. I hope I explained that well enough. Why so long? My 8K 250K entity server takes less than 4 minutes. I have servers that are like 150K that take 7-8 minutes to boot up. No problem. Oh no, Con, I'm not saying that they are the only ones that do that. I'm just saying that that is something else that they're working on right now. No, I wasn't specifically saying that about Fizz Gun. Turned off the carbon stack controller, changed it for loot table and stack size GUI 2.2.8. I've liked it since. There's a little bit too much to control. Yeah, and I use I agree with that, and I've done the same thing. I've turned off that functionality and stuck with stack modifier from CodeFling by Con. Con, why do you have an EU5JT in your name? Why aren't you just Con? Oh, that's another thing that they do talk about is the different versions of C# that it was written in. Yeah, that's a valid difference for sure. I didn't think of that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I've never used Carbon. Can you still get Chaos plugins to work on it? There's a couple that must have plugins that I have from Chaos Code. The answer to that is yes, I believe so. The one that I would question is the Chaos extension downloader. I don't know if that works on Carbon. I want to say, because there was a period in time where Chaos plugins did not work on Carbon at all, or barely. And then they addressed it. I'd venture to say that they're fixed now. I don't take my word for it. I should actually test it out and make sure that the Carbon extension, Chaos extension downloader works on Carbon, but I haven't checked on that. What did that guy? Oh, see, now you've got Mr. Blue in here. Mr. Blue is the guy behind Oxide / UMod. Okay, so that's no longer the case. So they're not written on different versions anymore. Not that it should matter even if they were, because it's not like it didn't work well. Like Oxide works. Oh, Google changed your name. Okay, fair enough. Yelnat says put your server on an M.2 and it will boot way faster versus hard drive if you're on a home host, local host. I have an M.2, but I refuse to put a server on it. Wait, I think my server downstairs is M.2 actually. That was dumb. Yeah, Ziggy, there's a lot of information, and when we start, especially when you start getting heavy hitters in here like Blue and Con and BMG Jet, like there's a lot of information in here. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Around 3 minutes to boot a server with 30 plugins. That's really good boot time. YouTube automatically added numbers to your handle. Oh, because yeah, okay, that's fair. Oh, look at that. We got Shady in here too. Nice. How's it going, Shady? Colorman Jewish. I'm on host Havoc right now, but that's just because I took it over from someone else. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, see, now they're going to start talking technical here. It's way over my head. patching things out, stuff like that. It's way out of my league, way above my pay grade. I'm gonna run out of water here soon. Holy dynamite. Yeah, no worries, Sailor. It's nothing tech about Jack and Coke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys, like right now, you guys have some heavy hitters in chat right now, and it would be a great time to ask questions. We've got Mr. Blue, we've got Shady, we've got BMG Jet, we've got Con is in here. Who else? I'm surprised we don't have Nicodemus. Nicodemus is usually in chat. He might very well be still. Oh, Whispers. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. I was doing it out off the top of my head, man. You hadn't said anything in quite a while. Whispers is in the house. Yes, 350 plugins is a lot. Is that a bad thing? No, as long as you have the hardware that can handle it. I can assure you that Whispers is looking at tickets. Can't even think of things to ask. Just seen the live stream and was like, oh, sweet, I'm there. Just got out of work. Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. What did Sailor say? Oh, he was talking about Jack and Coke. See? There you go. I told us so. Whispers is working on tickets right now. Did you buy Code Fling with 350? They have been doing the same things. They have to be doing the same things. Did you buy three? I lost that one. Yeah, go Yell Nuts. Ask a question, man. Would it ever be possible to have a map using Unreal Engine? No, because Rust would have to be rebuilt from the ground up in order to use anything Unreal. There was rumors years ago, I want to say, about Rust 2 being built on Unreal, but that's all rumors. It's never been substantiated, and it will be an absolute world-shifting move if that happened. I have a server with 137 plugins. It really comes down to heavy running plugins or server reboots in 4 minutes and 45 seconds, so it really depends on plugin weight. Absolutely, that is true. Would like to know what aspects are most demanding on server performance. Also, is there a correlation like giant bases with lots of entities need more RAM, or is that more CPU task? So your biggest draw on your resources is going to be the entities in your server, including bases. And that's a great question. I don't know if that is RAM or CPU. I would assume RAM. Rust is Unity, yes. There was a conversation came up quite a while ago where Unity was going to change their method of charging for their usage, and it basically would have broke the game. I think that's what happened, and they ended up renegotiating a deal that made it so that it didn't have to go down like that. So they stuck with Unity. But when that conversation first started happening is when the rumors of Rust 2 started coming out and that it was going to be built on the Unreal Engine. Again, it's all rumors. Nothing actually came directly from the team at Facepunch, or nothing that I know of for sure. But yeah, that's where the conversation started. Just trying to know what resources I should first upgrade if my player base gets bigger. Well, RAM would be my first suggestion. Rawl had some cool carbon client running a GTA map at one time. Yeah, I was there for that. I actually played on that map, and it was super cool. And then the entire and there we go. Let me know when we're back. It looks back to me, but we'll see. Is it true that Facepunch is considering adding grappling hooks? I was pumped when I heard that discussed. Haven't had a good game with them since Battlefield 2. I mean, I got zip lines, but it's not the same. I haven't heard that. Thanks for letting me know. I haven't heard about grappling hooks, but if people had grappling hooks, it would completely change the way... We have ladders, which essentially does the same functionality that grappling hooks would, except for anti-ladder bases. So would we be able to put a grappling hook onto one of those roofs? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't trust anything that I hear rumor, the rumor mill, they're making changes to AKs and they're changing spray pattern and all that other. I don't believe anything until I can actually physically see it happening in game. All of the rumors and stuff like that is just talk. It's just nonsense. So there you go. Grappling hooks are on the 2026 roadmap. There you go. Rust 2 is supposedly being built on an in-house engine they're building, and they released their sandbox game creation platform for free, and for anyone to make games off of using Source 2 engine on Steam. There you go. So they're going to create their own game engine. Interesting. I'm a little bit disappointed to hear that it might not be on, what were we just talking about? Unreal. Code commits have some of the Hack Week stuff. So maybe get them this year, but that could be anything like grapple up the side of a ghost ship. Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, there's going to be limitations, like as far as bases go, because people have now designed their bases to prevent ladder raiding. I guess they would just have to come up with a different way of dealing with grappling hooks too. While I've got so many of you in here right now, I'm just a reminder, I'm going to be going over to Twitch in a little while. When I shut this stream down, I'm going to get some food, I'm going to get some new water, and then I'm going to head over to Twitch to do some Havoc Hero. Here, I'll grab the link, and you guys need to head on over to Twitch. But before you do that, make sure you hit that like button on this stream before you head over to Twitch. And I'm not there yet, but I will be later on, like within a half hour, 45 minutes of me leaving this stream. I'm going to go start that stream. I need to check and see if the server is up and running. It's after 6 o'clock now, so it should be. Let me double check that. Go back to little Civ's tool, query. Oops. Oh, I wrote it in there wrong. That was a dumb move. So 28015 is no, 28017. No, it's not online yet. I don't understand. If we see NAMs in chat, let me know, because NAMs, you need to let me know if those servers are going live tonight. I thought that's what you said was 8 p.m. Central Time, which is not yet. 8 p.m. Central is 7 o'clock my time. Dumb. Mr. PC Scrapper with another super chat. Which plugin makers in chat right now is the king of plugins? Let the battle begin. Yikes. That is a yikes. ChatGPT is? That's terrible. If anything, I would say Cursor, not ChatGPT. Claude. Come on. Come on. Jesus. Death with another banger of a super chat. $67 super chat. Thunderpoon on top. What's Thunderpoon got going on? Let's... Is that an actual person? He's probably trolling me right now. Oops. Oh, Thunderpoon. There we go. Oh, it's a plugin by Death. Oh, I remember that. That is the harpoons with bean can grenades attached to the end of them. Yeah. Uh-huh. I remember seeing that. I should have... Why do I not have that in my library, Death? I wonder why that is. Yeah, I couldn't pick... There's no way that I could pick, like, the best developer. I might be able to pick the best developer for each different category of plugins. But, like, everyone has the one thing that they're good at, or a couple of things that they're really good at. So it'd be really hard to pick the best developer. I should be ashamed of myself for even engaging in this conversation, but... Yeah. Yeah, a beer can and a spear, yeah. Not a harpoon. I think I said harpoon. Hence the name. Thunderpoon. Oh my god, I'm disgusting. I wouldn't blame you for anything, sir. Yeah. I never meant to have my in-game, but I left it on there. Holy, the night is dark and full of terrors. Night is dark and full of terrors. What was that? Oh, is that just gonna start coming through now? Should have had that view going. I don't have notifications set up for that view that we were on. Rookie. Now it's gonna do a bunch of catching up. So can you guys hear that noise as well as my in-game noise? Here, let me see if it shows up. Are you hearing that noise? Fujikura. Not hearing it? Okay. No. ChatGPT will never get a vote. Not in this community. Yeah, no, it's the activity that you see in the top left-hand corner. It's got sound effects that go with it. I should try, I forget where it is. I've got the routing for my audio it's all over the place. It's hard to keep track of sometimes, so sometimes those things get lost on me. Yeah, we've got a heli going on in the background too. Anyways, so this has been really fun, really good. So many great questions and so many great super chats. You guys like made me like you guys helped me turn nothing into something, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you guys want to check out what Havoc Hero is all about, apparently I have to wait for those servers to go online, but I will be doing that. I will be on that on one of their servers. And the concept here is that I was going to invite you all to come in and mess with me while I was on one of their servers. So I guess the easiest way to do that would be to flash the servers up on the screen and hope that somebody figures out which one I'm going to go into. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No, the Twitch name is not the same as on here. Here, I'll post my Twitch in chat, or the purple site. I'm going to post my purple site link in chat. you guys can go over there. I'll be there as soon as these servers go online. I'm going to be over there. You know what, Anafan? You're absolutely right. I'm so glad I'm not doing that. Especially if you've seen the shit that they're trying to pull. I'm so glad I'm not a part of it. But yeah, you're right. Pull up his Steam ID leaked earlier in the stream and then pull up the website that shows what server the Steam user is on. Thanks, Con. But yeah, so I'm going to go over to one of the Havoc Hero servers as soon as they go online, and that's where I'm going to be for the next couple of hours tonight. And if you guys want, you can screw with me by doing these various different things. And I think this list is more. I think there's more items that you can do in Twitch, and you are basically controlling my success or failure directly from the Twitch panel with these items that you see on the screen right now. It's super fun. It's super fun for me, even though it was incredibly frustrating for me at times. I got sent up on a Komomo rocket one time. So I'm not really sure. So I think they have it whitelisted, or maybe it was only whitelisted because I got prior access to it. I'm not sure. So if you guys try to join the server, and I fully encourage you to do that, it may not let you in. I'm not sure what NAMS has going on there as far as that goes. Yeah, Komomo's punishments are fun. They are super fun. And yes, Noob Cakes, the MLRS did wipe my base right down to the foundation, and I had to rebuild it. Which, everyone loves rebuilding their base anyways, right? Right? And then some salty kid DDoS it because you didn't read their message on the purple site. Yeah, and that does happen. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to go spend a couple minutes with my wife. I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to wait for that server to go live. It should be within the next half an hour, I think. I think that's the case. But I will be on Twitch, and I can be a little bit less, what's the word I'm looking for? I can be a little bit less PG-13 on the purple site as opposed to this site. So thanks to everybody that came out for this stream. I'm so glad that everyone showed up. This was super fun. And I look forward to the shenanigans that we're going to get into on the purple site using Havoc Hero because it's super fun. And yeah, so thank you all so much. And I'll see you there as well as next Friday when I do put out another video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you then.